Sometimes the thing standing between you and peace isn't your circumstances. It's a relationship that you never repaired. See, I learned that the hard way. A few years ago, I was in a dark moment in my life, struggling with depression, battling PTSD from my time in combat, crying out to God, trying to figure out, where things had gone wrong. And during that season, God brought one verse to my attention that completely changed the direction of my life. At the time, I was still making music, but if I'm honest, something about it felt empty. Aaron and I had written music together for years, since I was in high school. But after our falling out, I kept trying to move forward, on my own. I was trying new things, new ideas, starting new projects, doing everything that I thought I was supposed to do. But the joy that used to be there just wasn't there. It wasn't the same. It felt like something important was missing. And one day I was reading the words of Jesus in Matthew 5. And Jesus says something that it stopped me cold, if I'm honest. He says, if you're about to offer your gift at the altar and you remember that your brother has something against you, leave the gift there. First go and be reconciled to your brother. Then come back and offer your gift. And when I read that, the first name that came to mind was Aaron. And if I'm honest, I didn't want it to be. Because reconciliation sounds good, when you read it in the Bible, but when you actually have to do it, when you actually have to admit where you were wrong, that's a very different moment. And for a while I wrestled with that. I kept thinking, maybe I could just move forward. Maybe I could just focus on the future. But the more I prayed, the more I realized something. God wasn't asking me to move forward. He was asking me to go backwards. So eventually I reached out. Not with some big speech, nothing practiced, just a simple message about something small. It was the 20-year anniversary of one of our songs that we recorded. Aaron and I wrote together a long time ago, and that small message opened a door. It opened a door I didn't expect. Aaron asked if I'd be willing to re-record one of our older songs for a project that he was working on. So we started texting again, started talking again, slowly reconnecting. And somewhere in those conversations, I apologized. I apologized for the things that I had done wrong, that I had ruined in our relationship. And looking back now, I realized something. For a long time, I had been asking the wrong questions. I kept asking things like, what do I want to do next? What project should I work on? Or what project should I try? How do I grow this thing? But the real question wasn't what I wanted. The real question was, what does God want from me? Right now. And in that moment, what he wanted from me was reconciliation. After Aaron and I had started writing again, something beautiful happened. The music felt alive. Because the story we thought had ended was actually still being written. And I think Aaron captured that perfectly in a line from our song No Title. He wrote, "There's no title in the story we're writing." And that line stuck with me. Because the title usually comes at the end of a story. But some stories aren't finished yet. Some friendships aren't finished yet. Some relationships, God is still trying to restore. And sometimes the breakthrough that we're praying for is waiting on the other side of a conversation that we've been avoiding. And I don't know who that person is in your life, but if God puts someone on your heart, don't ignore it. Because the story that you think is over might actually be the one that God is still writing. And maybe there's no title yet.